energy.
On the profile interview segment this week, I'll be speaking with the Director General of the National Directorate of Employment. It tells me how the Nigerian government has been able to create more than 90,000 jobs for Nigerians. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much, and you're welcome.
And Happy New Year, even though it's February. It's the first time I'll be meeting you this year, so congratulations to you. So a lot has been happening at the NDE. Late last year, NDE, under your leadership, rolled out a particular scheme to create jobs. Can you bring us up to speed on what has been the feedback on this so far?
Yeah, thank you very much. Coincidentally, we just had a management meeting yesterday to assess the performance of the scheme, to know where we are, as we are gradually coming to the tail end of implementation of the Renew Hope employment initiative. You will recall that we flagged off on 6th December, precisely, 2024. It was supposed to be a 3-month training program for the first batch, and hopefully we should be rounding up in the first week of March. And so this is the time to start taking stock of what we have done, where we are, and to go to the second phase of the training program, which is the empowerment stage of the program. After the training, some of the beneficiaries will be empowered to start up, and some of them will be linked up with some of our financial institutions for startup. So I think we are doing fairly well, given the fact that this is the first initiation that we're going online, staying away from the normal paper process of circulating forms to beneficiaries or to individuals to fill in their details, and I think we're doing fairly well. We just need to, at the end of the program, take stock of the challenges that came up as a result of doing it online via portal. Certainly, you should expect that as the system is not used to that online system, we expect some challenges to come up in-house, not with the beneficiaries, in-house, that will enhance smooth running of the program. But I must appreciate the effort of the staff for them to have picked up very well and to embrace the scheme and to support the initiative. And the beneficiaries are doing very well, and I'm quite happy with the report coming in from the state. And so I think we are doing fairly good.
More than 93,000 jobs created. Can you tell us what inspired this particular initiative?
If you're involved in the campaign of Mr. President, you will agree with me that we need to do more than what we are doing, because going around the 36 states of the country, including FCT, and the way we campaign and the way Mr. President promised Nigerian youth, unemployment was one of the areas that he campaigned on, and Nigerians voted him because of they believe he was going to change the tide of the unemployment rate that we're having. And in the campaign team, we agreed that providing white-collar job will be quite difficult, because the intent now is to create employment opportunities and to encourage Nigeria to be self-dependent. And what we need to do is to go the skill acquisition way by empowering and encouraging our young men so they can embrace technology, they can embrace other skill initiatives that will set them up permanently and make them more economically more dependent and reliable than to be relying on white-collar job or be relying on politicians that will give them handout time to time. And that will not help the system to grow, because whatever they are doing adds to the economic economic growth of the system.
As a follow-up to your response, you spoke about technology. How is NDE and Essence youth technology skill set, owing to the fact that we have many young people that already have this skill set, and some are eager to learn more when it comes to technology, because everything has gone digital. So would you like to bring us up to speed on some of the activities or plans or engagement you have with the youth as regards technology?
Yes, like I said, technology is what is driving the system now. NDE programs are meant to cut across the young, the old, and other category of Nigerians. But coming on board, looking at the statistics, I got record data from the National Population Commission, and our population way over 230, 240 million, and with over 60% of that age bracket, the age bracket of youth, young persons. That means we need to invest more in that area, not in the aged bracket, but more in the young persons of given the population spread. And these young persons are spread across the country. And if you look at the migration rate today, it's more of the young persons moving from the rural area to the urban centers. That has a way of affecting agriculture. That has a way of affecting rural production in our local areas. And that has a way of affecting young men that are married. That means they'll have to leave their wives at home, and this wife have to cater for the young ones. It has a way of getting the system back in the rural areas. And so that means we need to really encourage and invest in our young persons. And what we have done is to move our resources in NDE more to the young persons. And if you look at the program we're doing, we insisted that, look, it must be between the ages of 18 to 35. So that affected the number of persons we were training. Because those that applied, more were above 35. If we really need to address the rural-urban migration, then we shouldn't be training those above 35. We should, but not much. Our energy, our resources should move to the young persons in our communities. And so that's what we're doing to ensure that we capture the young persons in our community. And going forward, we're discussing with MBTI, National Technology Incubation Institute Center here, because they have equally invested a lot in technology.
Looking at the intensity of work ongoing here at NDE, can you tell us what has been the feedback from your workers here? How are they catching up, and what has been their input so far?
Yeah, without the workers, certainly we won't be able to get to where we are today. Like I said, they have been able to adjust immediately to the new leadership, and we have carried them along in every step that we're taking. When we addressed them and said, look, we're going to move away from the paper way of doing things here to a digital way of enhancing our beneficiaries. And they were quite happy. Yeah, you will expect one or two resistance, but you have to let them know the benefit. We are working for Nigerians. We are not working for ourselves. And what we are doing is to make it more open, more transparent. And with the portal system, it becomes more open, more transparent. People can have access to what we are doing. But if we go back to the old way of doing things by printing forms, that means just be between me and you, giving to our loved ones, our friends, our cronies, to benefit from the system. So they saw the need of expanding, of making ND to be a household name. And yes, NDE had gone down the pecking order, that we must admit. And it's a collective work to get NDE up there. And how do we get NDE up there? Is to be more transparent, to make Nigerians appreciate what we are doing. NDE used to be our institutions in the last 20 years that a lot of Nigerians benefit from the services of NDE. And Nigerians benefiting from what we are doing today. It's not for me to say yes or no. But I have a tax, and the tax is to get NDE back. And it's not just a one-man tax, it's a collective tax with the staff. And they appreciate that position, and we are working together to ensure that we get NDE back to our right place among other organizations that is providing this kind of service that NDE is providing. And not just that, in order to encourage the staff, when we came on board, promotion exam was being done manually. That means you have staff from Zamfara, from Lagos, traveling all the way to Abuja just to write exams. In this generation, it doesn't happen. And we told them, look, we can do this online. We can get you to write exam from your state where you're working. And we'll get engaged with one or two service providers that can help us address that challenge. And last year, December, they wrote their exams from their various states who had federal character, head of service, and other services that monitor the process. They wrote the exams on Saturday, and the result came out on Saturday. Unlike in the past, where it would take them 7 months to even get to see their results. The result came out that same day, and within that week, promotion was out. It was even more transparent. And so they saw that it was transparent, and they embraced the system. But if the system was not transparent, it would be difficult for them to embrace the system. So these are new things that we're trying to introduce to the staff. But if you're transparent in whatever you're doing, of course, you get that support. And we're happy that they have accepted the changes that we're bringing into the system. And like you know, we are operating in a rented structure since NDE was set up, 1986. We're trying to move to a permanent office accommodation, and they have gone to the place. They have seen what is happening, how work is moving, and hopefully in the next few weeks we should be moving out of here to a permanent place, and that will boost their ego, and that will make them to commit more of their time, their energy, their resources into NDE activities. And if their ego is improved, Nigerians stand to benefit more.
Looking at youth engagement, it's a big deal, and it's a big deal for NDE because it's the core of your business. Looking at that age group, most of your target audience are either at the university or they probably just finished from school, fresh from school. So are there any targeted program towards engaging these young minds while they're probably almost wrapping up at the tertiary institution?
There are discussions ongoing so that we can... You see, the setback we're having is skill centers nationwide. That's the major setback we're having. And once we can get our skill centers well equipped with modern tools, and that will help to boost out whatever we're doing at the state level. Now, in order to work around those kind of challenges, we are hopefully discussing with the Petroleum Training Institute in Efron, Warri, there in Delta State. We are working with NNPC through the Office of the Permanent Secretary of Petroleum. We're having a discussion with the gas expansion team, and they too are working in most of our higher institutions. We're hoping to reach out to TED Fund and other institutions within the system. Again, there's something going on which is not matured yet for public consumption, or the umbrella bodies supervising the polytechnics in the system, and that is the only way we can get to our tertiary institutions to see the modules and see how we can tinker with the modules, and see how we can encourage certain technical skill courses that will be run by these institutions. And PTI is doing very well. Like I said, we're discussing with PTI how we can get our trainees sent to those institutions and upskill. What we do now is just giving them the elementary skill for 3 months. And some of them will be invited back so we can upskill them for additional 3 months or 6 months. And the only way they can get properly certified is to go to these institutions and stay for under 3 months in these institutions, like the Patron Training Institute. And if we're able to get our modules accepted in other tertiary institutions, it's opened the window for our trainees to be accommodated and given certain refresher programs. You see, with these skills, we can export our trainees to other countries that will need their service.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
And that's all we can take on today's edition of the show. Join us next week for a fresh edition of the show. I am Sharon Ijason. Thanks for watching, and remember that labor creates wealth.